Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Phantom Saberlight here, and it's been a long time. It's been a little while since I've recorded and uploaded videos, simply because um, I've been having a bit of trouble with Pokemon Showdown. As you guys can see here, they sort of updated it a little bit and made it a little colorful and stuff. But, but, but. They have deleted every single one of my teams. All of my teams have been deleted, and I have nothing saved, and it was terrible. Everything got deleted. So, I had to remake our RU Hazard Stacking team, which I did here already. For the final video, this will be the final RU video. Um, Also, um, just so you guys know, I sort of bulk recorded. Um, and if you guys watched my last video, the RU match number 4, you guys will realize that there was no voice recording during that match. I unfortunately didn't remember to record my voice. So that was a bit unfortunate for me because since I bulk record, um, I unfortunately had to get rid of the last video of the RU because I already had that recorded. I did the matches, everything. I had uh, I had built our new team for the new tier. I recorded 2 videos after that for the new team, and all of those had no voice recording on them because I had completely forgotten that I had turned off the mic. So, oh man, that was a big bummer. Then I go on here and I find out all of my teams have been deleted, and it's bad. I've been a bit annoyed and upset with everything that's been going on, but I'm trying to get back on track. I'm starting to I'm starting to bulk record again. You guys will hopefully be seeing this video today, that being on a Monday. That being Monday. And hopefully you guys will be able to see the new team that I will build. I did have the team built. I do have it memorized. And I'm going to be rebuilding that team again so that way you guys can see it. Because I thought it was a really cool and interesting team, even though I don't really like the tier too much. But I'm not going to get into that during this video. I'll get into that during the next video. So, with that, let's find some battles. Why not? I haven't battled in a really long time, actually. Okay. I see that NU is suspect testing something. I'm not too sure what they're suspect testing. I kind of want to find out. What are you suspect testing? NU? There we go. What are we suspect testing? Really? Oh. Oh, we're suspect testing Sneasel, Gallade, and that's it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. NU is suspect testing Sneasel and Gallade. So yeah. Anyway, we find our team here. My opponent has a really cool team. He's really weak to Ambipom though. And he has a Rapid Spinner. But I think I'm going to open up with Peach anyway, because I feel like opening up with our little Peach here. She's just so peachy. I think I'm going to set up the Toxic Spikes. So he actually switcheroos me and gives me a choice band for the Focus Sash. Oh wow. I did not expect that. I did mention during the video that during the team builder that I would have liked to use the choice banded Ambipom, but I decided not to go with it because I didn't see it as very fitting. So yeah, he's gonna go for the U-turn. I expect him to switch out his Okay, his Houndoom. That makes perfect sense because it has Pursuit. And I'm just going to stay in. And I'm unfortunately going to have to sack off Zippers here because I'm pretty sure he has the Pursuit. And that won't be good for Zippers. As he does go for the Pursuit. And right here, I'm going to go for the Decibon. That way I can at least take out the Houndoom with us. So down goes the Houndoom. Right here, I sort of expect him to switch out into his Hitmontop. So because of that, I'm going to open up with no hands. That way I can get a free fake out off. And then hopefully proceed to kill him with a double hit. Although he does have the Intimidate, I probably should have taken that into factor. But, fake out and the poison and double hit should do a lot of damage. So I actually get a crit. That's very unfortunate for my opponent. Very lucky for us. He does get the rapid spin off. I'm completely fine with that because another double hit should easily be able to take him out. Although he does switch out in his Gastrodon, which is an interesting play. He's going to let his Gastrodon take some more damage. I am going to knock off its leftovers because I don't want having its leftovers, and we unfortunately get another crit. So that's unfortunate for him because we've been critting this guy a lot. Right here, I'm going to switch out into Electros because I do expect him to just go for another recover. Right here, I do expect him to switch out again, expecting the Giga Drain because it's very, very obvious. But, actually, I'm going to switch back out into Peach. I'm going to make a double switch, expecting him to switch out as he actually switches out into his Meloetta. And Meloetta is a pretty big threat. Meloetta is a pretty big threat indeed. I'm going to set up a Toxic Spike as it actually has Energy Ball, so that's very interesting and good to know actually. I didn't expect it to have Energy Ball. I feel as though Head Smash would be enough to take out the Meloetta. But I'm not sure. I'm just going to go out into Mirage. And I'm going to click U-turn. If he wants to switch out into something, I'll be able to get the switch initiative. So yeah, that's my plan right there. As he actually switches out into his Hitmontop to kind of sack it off. Friendly does naturally outspeed Hitmontop, so I'm not worried about this matchup. Unless he has Bullet Punch or I don't know if he gets Mach Punch. I don't know about that. There's a problem though. He has a Dugtrio, and I don't want to get trapped by this Dugtrio. Then again, I am Choice Scarf, so I should outspeed a Dugtrio. Yeah, so he's just going to let his Hitmontop die. He's probably going to switch out into his Dugtrio right now, and he's probably going to be able to take me out with an Earthquake or something of that nature. I'm just going to click Earthquake, hopefully bring it down to his Sash. That way a Fake Out will be able to take it out. And it actually outspeeds me, even though I'm Choice Scarfed. So that's unfortunate. I was hoping to at least be able to try and take it out. But I guess that didn't happen. Oh well. It's fine by me. Right here I can just click Fake Out and take out the Dugtrio, but he actually switches out into his Gastrodon. I'm fine with that. I'll just click Double Hit, and that should be more than enough to take out the Gastrodon, as it does take out the Gastrodon, thankfully. Right here, he's going to switch out into his Dugtrio. Again, very great plays by my opponent. If he is Choice Scarf, Choice Band, or maybe he is Choice Scarfed, I'm not too sure. Right here, I'm going to click Flamethrower because it has a higher base power than all of my other moves. It actually just stays in and goes for the EQ. My opponent gave me the pleasure in having him go for EQ, as the name suggests. Go for EQ. Right here, he goes for the Psyshock, which does a hefty amount, actually. I'm just going to click another Thunderbolt. As we don't live, I'm not too sure if we can win this. Right here, I'll click Earth Power and hope for the best. He still has his Ambipom at full health, which is really bad. I know it outspeeds. I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, this Meloetta is probably Assault Vest, or maybe it's just that specially defensive. I really don't know how Meloettas are. But good game to my opponent. That was a really cool game. I'm gonna find another battle here. I'll probably find two more, depending on how long the recording goes. But I'm not too sure yet. Okay. So, my opponent has a really cool team. Very threatening team. Very stally team as well. I don't like it. He does have a defogger in his Skuntank, so I will have to prevent him from defogging my hazards away. If he switches straight out into his Skuntank, I will Hydro Pump it. He actually goes for the Toxic with his Registeel. I'm fine with that. Right here I'm going to click Spikes. He's going to get his Stealth Rocks up, and I expect him to actually expected him to switch out into his Skuntank. That way he can go for the defog. But that actually makes no sense because he has his rocks up, so I don't know what I was thinking there. So yeah, Peach is going to go down. Registeel usually tend to have more physical bulk than anything, but it did take that Hydro Pump very, very well. So I'm kind of wondering if it's worth going out into Friendly or if I just go straight out into Mirage. I think I'm just going to go out into Mirage. That way, if he goes out in the Skuntank, I should be able to take it out with an Earth Power anyway. He's actually going to go for the Protect to see what I go for. That way he scouts. A very good move by my opponent, as now he has a free switch into a Sigilyph if he wants. As he is going to switch out into a Sigilyph. Very good play by my opponent. I'm not too sure if he knows that we're choice specs yet, but this move right here probably suggests that we are choice specs now. Psychic does a lot of damage. I would like to go for the Thunderbolt, but I think I'm just going to click Volt Switch just in case he decides to switch out in his Tangrowth or his Skuntank. That way I have switch initiative. Psychic, I'm pretty sure, is the strongest move to hit me with. So he actually decides to bring out his Tangrowth, and a Volt Switch is still going to do quite a bit of damage because it's more physically defensive than specially defensive. And because of that, I'm actually going to switch out into our Mirage again, and I'm going to go for the Fire Blast. And if he knows we're choiced, or if he thinks we're choiced, he'll be able to get a free switch into his Skuntank. Because Skuntank should easily be able to take a Fire Blast. He actually doesn't. He's actually going to switch straight out into a Sigilyph. Very bold play by my opponent. I'm going to click Fire Blast just to get a bit of damage off of the Sigilyph, as it actually does quite a bit of damage. He actually goes for the Calm Mind. That's really scary, but I am going to switch out into Zippers right here. I do find out that it is Life Orb. It has the Roost as well. I'm just going to click Shadow Sneak because I cannot mess around with this Pokemon, as that is super effective and it's going to bring him all the way down to 5%. I'm going to click Shadow Sneak again as he actually switches out into a Skuntank, because that is going to be able to give him a free defog. So that's unfortunate, as he is going to be able to get rid of all of our hazards. Right here I am going to Will-O-Wisp it because Will-O-Wisp should at least do... It'll hinder the Skuntank because Skuntanks are usually more physical than anything. I'm going to just go for the Destiny Bond and take out the Skuntank. So down goes Skuntank. He has a really weakened team. I need to save our Electros for this Alomomola. I do expect him to switch out into his Registeel because he would probably want to get his rocks back up, but he actually switches out into his Alomomola. So I'm just going to U-turn off against that Pokemon, and I'm going to go into our Electros because a Thunderbolt should be able to do a hell of a lot of damage to this Pokemon. A Volt Switch should be able to do a lot. I would like to Giga Drain, but I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch as I expect him to have the Protect. That way he can stall out my Electros. Right here I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. That way I can deal enough damage as much damage as I possibly can to any Pokemon. I do know that he has the Protect on his Registeel, so I'm going to switch out into our Mirage, as he actually sets his Stealth Rocks. Very good play by my opponent. And right here, I'm just going to click Fire Blast because I have no reason not to, as he's probably going to switch out into his Alomomola or his Emboar, and I'm just going to sack off our Eelektross just to see what he wants to do. This actually goes for the Toxic. Alright. I'm going to go back out in the Mirage, and I'm just going to click Fire Blast again, as he actually switches out into his Sigilyph to sack it off. That was a good play by my opponent. He's going to switch out into his Alomomola, and he should know by now that I am Choice Specs. He's going to Toxic my No-Hands, that's fine. He still has the Registeel, and because of that, I'm just going to go straight for the Knockoff, because I know he would Protect anyway. I'm still going to click Knockoff, that way I can get rid of whatever item any Pokemon is holding, the leftovers from the Registeel, the leftovers from the Alomomola, or possibly the Choice Scarf or Choice Band from the Emboar, as that's what I expect it to have. This is a very tough match for me, as his team is just very, very bulky and difficult to handle. He's going to be able to set up the Wish right here. I'm just going to go out friendly, and I'm just going to fire off a Head Smash. If he switches that into Registeel, so be it. And we miss our Head Smash, so that's very annoying. He's just going to Toxic Stall me. Probably is going to switch out into his Registeel right here. Head Smash hardly does any damage to this Alomomola, so that's really unfortunate. I'm going to switch out into Mirage right here. And I'm going to go for the Earth Power just to see how much it will do to the Alomomola, as it actually does quite a bit of damage actually. I'm going to go for the Earth Power again, as I do expect him to go for the Protect. He'll probably want to switch out, that way he can get some health. Actually, he just lets his Alomomola go down. And right here, he goes out into his Registeel to probably go for the Protect. And so because of that, I'm going to switch out into Friendly, as he does go for the Protect. And I'm just going to click Earthquake because that's all I really need to do. He just seems that it seems that he is just going to Toxic Stall me, which is very unfortunate, very annoying, very pathetic. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing around. He has the right to do so. Friendly is going to be brought down to 1%, and I'm going to be able to take down his Emboar, so that's very good for us. Right here, I'm just going to switch straight out. Well, all I have left is Mirage. So, all he has to really do is Toxic Stall me, because I don't think an Earth Power will be able to take him out. If an Earth Power can take him out, that'd be great, but it doesn't. It brings him all the way down. It only does 49%, so that's unfortunate, and because of that, we are going to lose our match. I'm going to find one more match with this team for the last time. And I only see one Defogger on his team, that being Braviary. So I'm going to lead off with Peach. That way I can get off as much hazard as I possibly can. And I'm going to set up the Stealth Rocks. And I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to set up my Toxic Spikes or not, because I might want to just burn the Tyrantrum or burn the Escavalier, because both those Pokemon are very, very threatening. So I'm thinking that I'm just going to set up the Spikes, as he's going to set up his Stealth Rock. I'm going to be able to set up 2 layers of Spikes and a Stealth Rock. Hopefully I'll be able to put up a 3rd layer, as he just goes for the Gyro Ball, and that still doesn't kill. So because of that, I am actually going to be able to set up all 3 of my layers of Spikes and a Stealth Rock. So that's very good for us. And right here, I'm just going to switch out into go for EQ, because this Bronzong can't really touch us. And so because of that, I'm actually going to go for the Thunderbolt, as he actually stays in and goes for the Toxic. So that's his. So we know his full move set now: Gyro Ball, Earthquake, Toxic, and Stealth Rocks. he might just stay in and go for the gyro ball, although it won't do hardly anything to our Electros. He might just do this to sort of wear down our Electros because of the toxic. I'm just going to click another flamethrower. A good move by my opponent is if he were to switch out into his Tyrantrum or his Gastrodon to be able to take the flamethrower very well. If he just stays in, his Bronzong will be taking a lot of HP. It actually switches out into his Gastrodon, so that was a good play by him because he 4 times resisted. I will go for the Giga Drain as he actually decides to stay in with his Gastrodon, and down goes his Gastrodon because of it. So that's very unfortunate for my opponent. Right here, he's going to switch out into his Braviary. He might just go for the Defog if he has it. He does actually go for the return. That might tell me that he doesn't have the defog. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna click the fake out because a little bit of chip damage on everything is always great. As he's just gonna leave his Braviary in, and it's gonna flinch. We do outspeed the Braviary, and I do believe the knockoff can knock out the Braviary at that range. If he does decide to switch, I'll be able to knock off any item from whatever Pokemon he wants to switch out into, and this is probably the best thing I would want to knock off, because if it is Choice Scarf, which it is, or which it does turn out to be, he loses it. So that was very good for us. I'm just going to click U-turn, get the heck on out of here. He is brought down to 2%. The thing is, I don't really want to sack off anything. But I guess if I were to sack something off, it'd probably be Zippers, unfortunately. Yep, as he's going to go for the Outrage. And he's no longer Choice Scarf, so his max speed is 265. I think I am going to switch out into No Hands because I can just fake out and get rid of the Tyrantrum, and then I can knock off whatever item on whatever Pokemon he wants to bring out next, probably being the Escavalier or the Tangrowth. As he actually brings out the Braviary, I'm just going to go for the knockoff to take it out. And down goes the Braviary as it was actually Choice Banded, so that was a very powerful Pokemon right there. He does switch out into his Escavalier though, finally. We're just going to knock off this Pokemon's item because an Assault Vest will definitely hinder our Flygon from taking out the Escavalier. I can pretty much click Flamethrower from here on out with Mirage and win. Is that should be able to take out his last 3 Pokemon. So let's just hope that all 3 of our Fire Blasts hit. And down goes the Escavalier. And he has 2 Pokemon left. He has his Tangrowth, which is going to be taking all of that hazard damage. And Fire Blast does connect again, so down goes Tangrowth. And all he has left is his Bronzong, which is Levitate. So I know that I can't go for the EQ as we actually land our Fire Blast anyway. So that was a good game to our opponent. We landed all 3 of our Fire Blasts because our Flygon is awesome and it doesn't need glasses because it sees all. But yeah, I think I'm going to end off the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do know that I did, or I realized that I did lose twice, but can't really do anything about that anymore. Yeah, it happens. I lose. I'm not the best battler. Nowhere near close to being the best battler, although I do plan on becoming a better battler. And hopefully way later on down the road, I can enter in some tournaments and you guys can watch me. And yeah, I hope to bring destruction. But with that, I'm gonna get out of here, and I hope you guys enjoy. And as always, take care.